What's up, fam? Hey, thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, be sure to hit that notification bell so that every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. Today, we want to talk about our brother, Kevin Samuels, who died just a couple of months back. And as of yesterday, if you don't know, the medical examiner's report came out and stated that his cause of death was from complications of hypertension. But I'm gonna get into the article because I want to get into detail and talk about the seriousness of this issue. You know, it's like the brother brought us great content, whether you was a fan of his or not, and whether you liked his delivery or not. He brought content that really made you think. There's a lot of truth behind it, you know, hard facts behind it. He never came maliciously. His points. Like I said, I think the problem people had with him was his delivery. But I, for one, as a man, didn't mind his delivery. Because I mean, he talked about everybody. No one was immune. I mean, if you was bold enough to call in, you were bold enough to get that work. Man, woman, white, black, whatever. But anyway, we're not going to get into that. That's for another story. That's for another video. People love to talk about that. But we're going to talk about, again, these health issues that plague our community. And one is, you know, the heart and hypertension, high blood pressure. All that is problems with, within our community. So let's get into the story. And like I said, we'll get into more details. This is from the Black Enterprise, and it said controversial YouTuber Kevin Samuels' cause of death revealed. It says on Monday, the Fulton County Medical Examiner's Office confirmed Samuels died as a result of hypertension, which eliminates any possible suspicions surrounding the 57-year-old's death, teams report. Evidence of hypertension includes a heart whose chambers are thicker than normal, the medical examiner noted. Now, like when you look at Brother Samuels, he looked like a fairly fit man, right? He looked like he may have worked out, like he probably ate right. He was, tall, athletically built, 57 years old. It was like, man, this dude, like he was living a good life. But one thing that, that did stand out in all his videos, that I watched was that he was drinking Red Bull. And I was like, man, that's a strange drink for a 57-year-old man to drink on a regular basis. He Red Bulls, maybe sodas, but because I remember being a softball coach, like like teenage girls, junior high girls back in the day. And my own kids played sport. Is that I was mesmerized when these, it was players on this team. This guy, he had like 2 daughters that played on his team. And they was, they would be drinking Red Bull, for tournaments. And these girls are probably, short, wide, whatever. I mean, don't want to be disrespectful, but they were short and overweight. But you drinking Red Bulls, and they were teenagers. And I always said, no, that's the kind of stuff you don't want kids to drink because it's bad on you. It's hard on your body. I couldn't drink Red Bulls. I tried before. I used to work, crazy hours at warehouses. Worked 2 warehouse jobs at one time. Tried the Red Bull, and I mean, I couldn't drink it all. To me, and then monster drinks, I'm like, I don't see how nobody can drink this much fluid at one time. It makes no sense to me. I guess probably why I can never drink coffee, because it's just too much fluid to try to stay awake. It's one thing just to drink, to be drinking to quench a thirst, or that something's good, but to drink something to have an effect on you, and to have to drink that much. I was a fan of like 5-hour energy, the low shot. Yeah, put that son gun in, in a old alcoholic beverage when I drank alcohol back in the day, but that was the thing. But like I said, I just never thought Red Bull was a smart drink to drink. And then, like I said, see this guy drinking it. I felt that it wasn't healthy and it could only hurt him. Now, I'm not no doctor, no medical examiner. I don't know if the Red Bulls killed him or not. I'm quite sure it played a part. Like any other thing that he did, I heard, seen a lot of videos of people that were friends of his said, he didn't sleep much. 3 or 4 hours a day. He try to do all the work himself. He's flying here, flying to different cities, doing interviews with people, doing TV shows, and he just wasn't getting a lot of rest. So that's why you always see him drinking the Red Bulls, and that in itself is dangerous. I mean, I've seen videos where, people like Steve Harvey say, you can't sleep 8 hours a day, which really I feel you shouldn't. But on a consistent basis, I would say, a grown person trying to, be productive with society, there's no way in the world you can sleep 8 hours a day unless you're just living, if you're working a 9-to-5 job and you can survive off of that, you're good with your family structure. If everything's at peace, then 9-to-5, sleeping 8 hours a day could be possible. But if you're like working, trying to go to school, trying to build a business, got kids, they have activities and programs and stuff. Your wife, your husband got things going on, house, you're repairing house stuff, house things that break around the house, repairing cars, mowing the yard. There's no way, it's almost impossible to sleep 8 hours straight every day. But to on a consistent basis, only get like 3 to 5 hours of sleep on a consistent basis every day, and just running and not resting, that's not good on your heart either. And then if you got heart blockage, that's only going to put more stress on your heart. So anyway, it says on Monday, the Fulton County Medical Examiner's Office confirmed Samuels died as a result of hypertension, with eliminating any possible suspicions surrounding the 57-year-old's death. Evidence of hypertension included a heart whose chambers are thicker than normal. The medical examiner noted it was natural causes that led to Samuel's passing, not foul play. The controversial social media star made headlines when he passed away on Cinco de Mayo while hanging with a younger woman. Many were suspicious about his cause of death and if there was signs of foul play, Yahoo reports. The woman he was with identified in as Hortensia Alcantara in a Thursday, May 5th police report filled out by Officer K. Figueroa of the Atlanta Police Department. Alcantara works as a nurse by occupation and told police that she had just met Samuels the night before his death and spent the evening with him. She claimed the next morning Samuels complained of chest pain and she attempted to help him. However, Samuels was too weak and collapsed, which prompted her to call 911. As a nurse, Alcantara knew to tell the dispatcher to contact the concierge and get a defibrillator brought to the apartment. She was able to revive him to a responsive state until other medical professionals arrived and took him to Piedmont Hospital. The speculation of wrongdoing became so severe that the young lady ended up speaking out to defend her name. Quote, "It's crazy how complete strangers try to hurt your character. Believe it or not, there's still good-hearted people in this cruel world," the woman reported. To be the last person to be with Samuels wrote in an Instagram story post. "Unbelievable to think I had to clear my name for doing the right thing." She continued, "Let me find a lawyer and make these people take all this mess down." That's good. That's a good idea. "I am a humble 6-figure woman from the Midwest. No need for a one-night stand," she added. "My family and close friends know I'm a good person. People are evil, but sending love." And we don't know about the young lady. We don't know about her personally. We don't know the person like when she met him. She met him for the first time tonight. She might have been talking to him, and then they said that was the first time they met. And then the first time they met, you know what I'm saying? That's got to be a hard thing. You meet a guy for the first time and then you die. But like I was saying, the issue at hand is, like I said, the hypertension and the high blood pressure. Like I said, amongst our people in our community, and it's more prevalent than what we like to think. Studies show that like at least 50% of all Black Americans are overweight, obese. I think it's saying like 40% of all cases, 47% of all cases of hypertension or high blood pressure are in the Black community, compared to like 20-something% in the white community. But on the interesting note though, they're saying outside of America, the rest of the world, the percentages of hypertension are like even across the board. So that kind of makes you wonder what's going on in this country is causing our people to have hypertension or high blood pressure more than any other race. And I feel you can attribute it to diet. They try to say the only cause can be genetics, but again, if people across the world is no more prevalent with any race, any around the world, then why would genetics affect it only in this country to that high of a rate? I think it says not even 20%, 23% of like all the people in the world like have hypertension, high blood pressure. So you can't really chalk it up to genetics if you're gonna go all the way back, like those genetic marker tests they try to give. But a lot of people say, and we believe, a lot of it has to do with stress in this country. I mean, you take racism, you can take all of these stories online where police right now, one of the big stories are like police that seem to be just shooting down brothers that's running, whether they commit a crime or not. They're gunning these brothers down. And you may say, well, they shouldn't be committing crimes, they shouldn't be resisting. I agree with you. But the issue is they're not doing the same thing, or they're not showing police doing the same thing to other races. I don't know if they're doing it to them or not, but the media is making sure that we see that it's happening to us, which means I think it may be systematic and intentional to show us in that light so that every time we see a police officer, that we should be scared of them and that we should follow the rules. But we should do that anyway, right? But it's not the problem. The problem is, I think they feel that we're not afraid of the police and we don't cringe. They want to show superiority towards us, but we don't really show that weakness. So now they feel they have to, bulk up, pull their weapons out, even if a brother is running. And this has been happening forever. You do know, like back up until the 70s, it was a law. It was within the law for the police to shoot you while you're running. I mean, I think you can look it up, but they outlawed it like in the mid 70s. So when you watch them old movies, them old films where the police would say, stop or I'll shoot. Yeah, that was a law. They could do that. You can run, and if you keep running, you don't follow command, they just shoot you down. And they could do it legally. So yeah, so just remember that when these laws are being passed, or some laws are not being passed, and sometimes stuff like this may just sneak up on you. You understand? Because the 70s, I was born in the 70s, so it wasn't that long ago. You feel me? But anyway, you can talk about the stress of that. You can talk about when you're in poverty, where you live at. Trying, stressing out on how to feed your family. When you got a lot of men who, for whatever reason, can be in the family, got kids, feel like they can't raise the kids and they leave. Cowardly move, yes. But again, stressful situation because the man can't take care of the kids, but you can go back and say, why'd you have the kids? Or maybe he thought he could take care of the kids, maybe he thought he could afford the kids in the beginning, but in the end, finally he couldn't, then he left. But like I say, cowardly move because a lot of us who didn't leave when it was hard, to raise them kids, because then your babies are your responsibility. But again, we're talking about economical stress factors like living in poverty, can't find a livable wage, so you got to get 2-3 jobs, which is keeping you from sleeping, which is keeping you really probably from eating healthy like you should, because you're probably getting fast food, getting something on the run, drinking beers, try to relax yourself, probably smoking squares, or even, even the 420. Who knows, maybe even harder drugs to try to relieve the stress of, of the life, drinking hard liquor. These are just not excuses, but just, just actual things that people do to relieve, to try to relax and relieve stress. All this stuff plays a part in your organs and your heart and how it works. If it's working harder, beating harder, stressed out, it's gonna cause problems. Now, let's say, Brother Samuels died, but one of the contributors was like thickening of the arteries, which stops the blood flow. So it's either going to depend on what side of the blood flow is on. What side of the heart is on. If blood can't get to the heart, then the heart is going to be weakened. The muscle is going to be weakened. If the blood can't pump away from the heart at the right way, then it's going to pump harder, and it's going to be it's going to pump too hard, and it's going to wear out. What is it called? Atherosclerosis, I believe. And the thing about thickening arteries is treatable, but not reversible. So you can treat it with medications, regular exercise, diet changes, stuff like that, but you can't, like I say, reverse it. So it's why it's good at a young age for us to, and I try to teach kids, because I can say for myself, I had the greatest diet, growing up. I ain't gonna say growing up, 'cause my mom, she would cook. I would go eat fast food, like, growing up, high school, whatever. Sometimes just eat, you got money, you go eat what you want to eat. Takes double cheese, back in the day, back when I ate meat. So I'm, Frosty, every Friday, get paid. First place you go, what I'm saying? But not the healthiest thing. Always eating chocolate chip cookies, like right now, chocolate chip cookies. Can't put it down. Don't eat meat, try to eat more vegetables and fruit, but chocolate chip cookies, never put them down. Just refuse to. But I ain't gonna say that, just right now, just won't do it. But we have to get back to eating healthy, especially with our kids, teaching kids to eat healthy. I hate when I hear parents say that what their kids won't eat. You won't eat nothing. You won't eat nothing but McDonald's fries. You won't eat nothing but hamburgers or nuggets. You won't eat. You won't drink nothing but Pepsi. You won't drink water. Won't eat fruit. And then my question is, who introduced these fast foods to them? If you start them out young eating fruits and vegetables and water and whatever and juice and stuff like that, he would like it. You put him in any other situation, any other culture, this stuff, McDonald's, this food over here, they over there, Skittles. You see somebody suing Skittles because of suing Skittles because of the chemicals they're putting in there, So it's not like, like other countries, you look at the cereals and the candies and stuff they have in other countries, the ingredients are different over there than they are over here. But you won't know that unless, you can go abroad or look on YouTube videos or read, and see what's going on in other countries. But like I say, it's a lot of factors out here, to my point, that cause heart issues, but there's a lot of ways that we can prevent it. And like I said, diet is one, getting outside, doing exercise, getting outside, doing work is another. Try to get PE and stuff back in school, getting kids back being athletic. Kids love being athletic. Kids love going outside playing. They'll drink water all day. They outside running. They ain't got no choice. They'll do it. They'll eat fruits and vegetables. They'll eat watermelon. They love this stuff. You just got to provide it for them. You give them what they need. They will take it and run with it. Period. Now, so the risk factors for the thickening of the arteries are like high cholesterol, high triglyceride levels, high blood pressure, smoking, diabetes, obesity, lack of physical activity, and eating saturated fats, which is like what I was saying. It's like 55% of black folks have high blood pressure in this country due to socioeconomic factors, lack of access to medications, lack of access to being able to afford a medication. Man, I had an ear infection the other day. Went to the pharmacy that I normally go to. They told me with my insurance, the drug's like $200 and this is something I was going to use 7 days, twice a day, and that was it. But then I went to another pharmacy. They said, "Oh, well, if you use this card, which is not in your insurance, which does not go towards your deductible." I don't know why I got deductible on medication anyway. But anyway, that's something new. Use this card, it's like $150. So, about $150. So I like, okay, well, no, it was $100. So I like, okay, well, I had to go there and get it. But again, the money cannot go towards my deductible of my insurance that I'm paying for medications. And then where I work at, there are people there who, whose insurance changed this year to where now some of the stuff that was covered last year is not covered this year. And so they have to go through a whole bunch of more steps to get treatment. And like I say, medication is expensive. Treatment is expensive. So again, when you got socioeconomic issue factors to where you can't get, jobs that pay well. So it's hard to afford the insurance. But you got people that do work, what do you call that? Like the Ubers and the, what else? People that do deliveries. People who try to, work their own jobs, start their own businesses. You may do notaries, mobile notaries. I do that from time to time. Make decent money, make some money for like an hour worth of work. But again, if you did that full time, how you gonna afford the insurance? So which means really it should motivate you to go out and exercise, eat right, or what have you, try to take that risk. But again, if you're working at like McDonald's, it's only paying $10 an hour, and they only hire part-time, or full-time, they're paying $12 an hour. You know how much you're paying in insurance? And now you're paying for insurance, then it's like they're gonna make you get insurance. You gotta pay a fee at the end of the year, a fine at the end of the year when you get ready to file your taxes. You know how expensive insurance? Oh, you can get Obamacare, as they say, but still, even with that, you have to go through so many hoops just to see a doctor. I mean, it stresses you financially, it stresses you time-wise, it stresses you mentally, again, which is causing stress, on your mentally, which is causing stress on your heart. Again, factors that lead to high blood pressure, hypertension. I know people who got high blood pressure, and they sit here like saying, oh man, you take that blood pressure and let's say it's 175 or 100. Oh, that's normal for me, and they ready to leave. We're like, wait a minute, that's not right. Oh, that's normal for me, man, I'm all right. But it's like, dude, it may feel fine today, but tomorrow, this is gonna catch up to you. Or somebody, blood pressure normally high, and it's like 120 over 80, and they feel like lightheaded, like, oh man, my blood pressure too low. It's like, no, that's what it's supposed to be, 130 over 80 or 120 over 85, something like that. It's supposed to be right there. Your body just ain't used to it being right. You need to make sure you do something to keep your blood pressure right. Get your medications. Stay on it. Again, if you can't afford them, how you gonna take them on a regular basis? So the medical system, as we know, another story for another channel. Another story for another video. That needs to be fixed. So it's people not managing their blood pressure. Again, blood pressure. How I know me, even with me, my size, my weight, I know my blood pressure is always 120s and over 80s or 130 over 70 something. So I never had high blood pressure. I said I went to the doctor because it's deteriorating due to my blood pressure under my elbow, and it was like 170 or 100. I said, nah, that's not right. I know better than that. And it kept being high. Like, I know I don't have high blood pressure. I said, if I got high blood pressure, man, I'm changing everything about my life today. I'm moving out the country and doing like I'm gonna do like Dave Chappelle and move out the country by myself and go on a sabbatical for a year. Just to relieve myself of the stress. To hell with that. But then they took it above the elbow, and it was back to where it's supposed to be. But still, like I said, blood pressure. I take pride in my blood pressure and my heart rate being, at what they would call normal levels, I guess. But anywho, final point I want to make is people who may have something to say about the way Brother Kevin Samuels died. Because they try to make it seem like, oh, he taking these sex pills. Somebody said that he's taking these pills, these over-the-counter pills, so he can keep up with these women. But let's say like this. I would say in this day and age, I would doubt that he would do that, because the man, although he was a public figure, he was private enough to where I believe, that he could probably get one of those, what's that, for hymns or them other little online medication, doctors and stuff that can deliver them pills to your house, to your place of residence, what I'm saying, what they say, in a discreet, unmarked package. Why would he do that? Why would you go run and go get some stuff that's at the gas station that would play on your heart? I mean, say the Red Bulls is bad enough, and then taking that stuff, that wouldn't, I don't know. I don't think that would be a smart thing to do. He seemed like a smart individual. So again, why would you take something that, and then the coroner's report, well, from what was told, that didn't come out, because I believe that if that stuff was in his system, because what it was, he had I forgot what the name of the drug, but it's what we call an LOL, beta blocker, was in his system, which is consistent with a drug that's being prescribed for hypertension. So I'm thinking, like, if he would have had something like one of these pills from the gas station or whatever, one, they probably would have found some packages in his trash. Two, it would have been in his system. And trust me, if that was in there, I guarantee you TMZ would have said something about it. If they would have saw it, they would have said something about it. Trust me, because it's TMZ. So the man just died, to me, just working too hard. And I can't say, well, don't know if he was taking care of his body a lot, but he just, a lot of factors contributed to his death. And it's sad, rest in peace to him. He's, he taught a lot while he was alive, and hopefully with his death and his heart issues that he had, people will learn about that. Still stop trying to look over him being a woman basher or hate black women or whatever. So they say, well, he would say, chew the meat, spare the bones. So he died of hypertension, say he wasn't living right. Probably some big black woman's probably saying, well, see, I'm still living, and I'm big. He was in health, good health and everything. He still died. That was just, that was whatever, karma. God's supposed to do it, kill him. I'm gonna tell you like this, sir. I guarantee you, every last one of y'all, every last one of us knows somebody with hypertension. Every last one of us knows somebody who died of it, or who's suffering from it to a point to where, and you know what? It would make sense if he had hypertension bad, his heart was jacked up. It would make sense of that if he would have had taken some kind of pill to help him, during his intimate times, because heart failure, taking them drugs can be a side effect of that. Or just having hypertension can be a side effect of that. To where you have to go and buy you some of them, get you some medication, but talk to a doctor about it or whatever, just buy that stuff from the gas station. But like I said, I bet you every last one of us knows somebody who died of high blood pressure, had a heart attack, know somebody who had a stroke. So I hope you're not saying that your mom, your dad, your grandmother, hope you're not saying it was karma or that you deserve it, because nobody deserves it. Again, if he was living in another country, eating different foods, living a different lifestyle, living around different people, not going through the stress of arguing back and forth with these women on his shows who call his show to talk noise. Brother would probably still be alive, but tell me what you think. Leave your comments below and then share it with the world. And with that being said, I leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.